Hiya, I'm Pimmie, and today I want to dive into my fiber stash and show you a bit because I am still working my way through 700 grams of carded Shetland to spin into singles for weaving for the Iron Age dress project, and turning piles of this carded Rolex into bobbins and bobbins full of about fingering weight singles. And I have about 500 meters, no, but 600 meters per bobbin. But I have a limited amount of Shetland, carded Shetland, carded bats that were ordered at World of Wool. And that is not going to be enough. We did some number crunching, and I'm going to have enough for the weft with a bit of extra, but not enough to supply both warp and weft. And that was never the idea, but the order of the warp yarns still hasn't arrived, and it should have been in December. So I'm probably going to try and spin the warp as well, and for that I have to go and dive into my fiber stash. And you see that shiny bright spot here behind me. Well, that's the holy grail of fiber in my yurt, so it's very fitting that it is lit up like that. And I'm going to show you that. So in an attempt to keep my stash together, I stuffed everything in an old wooden trunk that I got from my grandfather. And let's see what's in there. Now, the thing is that an overabundance of unspun wool or even spun wool makes me feel stressed, because it's all work I still need to do and find time for. And I tried to reduce the amount of stash I have, but I also have so many nice fibers that yeah, I'd rather not get rid of everything. This is commercial top, Corriedale top, which I use for teaching. Very nice wool to learn with. It has a nice crimp to it, and it isn't too fine, so it's easy to spin if you're learning to spin. It's easy to draft, not too expensive, and the top isn't as dense as you have with a merino, so it spins really well, and it's still soft enough to enjoy wearing. What do we have here? This is a Hampshire down fleece that I want to, let's see if this is visible, that I want to turn into socks, because down wool, and I want to know if it wears very differently than the tassel that I can get locally, and that I really like spinning, because tassel isn't one of the official down wools, being a Dutch wool instead of a British one. And I want to know the differences in wear and how the yarn behaves in socks, because I did the an article in Ply magazine about sock yarn construction, and I'm always looking for a good sock yarn to spin that won't wear through as easily. But this is Zwartbles, which is also a local meat breed, and it doesn't felt very easily, so it works as same as a down wool, but it's often a bit finer, perhaps a bit, yeah, if you get the really nice fine ones, it's too fine for socks. And this was a bag full of the most gorgeous wools that my friend in Virginia in New York sent me. But I'll do a video. I'll do a video about that. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Because I'm spinning Shetland now, I want to continue doing that, and I have some Shetland I exchanged for a spinning wheel that I wasn't using, and this is one of Betty's sheep, and he's a double coated. See if the camera picks this up. A double coated fleece, and you have the guard hairs here. If you pull them out, this is all guard hair, and this is the soft woolly part, and this is the more straight guard hairs. So the sheep had a bit of a halo over him, and it's slightly grey, and I'm thinking of using this in the project, and perhaps spinning all the warp from this. And I have part of it already washed, and part still in its natural smelly state that still needs to be washed. Yeah, I hope it'll be enough to use for the warp, and otherwise I'll put something else in and perhaps add some tassel to it. Let's see if I have some tassel here to show you. This is tassel, which is a very square staple, but it is different throughout the fleece, and you get really crimpy parts like this, but also almost long wool bits, and this is more of a down wool part of the fleece. But yeah, I enjoy working with it, so I might add in some of that. So that is the treasure trove of part of my stash, my fiber stash, and I'll do a video in the future about all the different breeds I have in there, and how they compare the differences between them. But yeah, mostly it's down breeds and primitive breeds that I prefer, or not strictly speaking down breeds, but meat breeds, because those are nice for spinning long draw, which I tend to like. Hope to see you next time. Bye.